chatting to the sibling genius combination that make up Clews. Hey, how you doing? Can you guys hear me?
Hello, James.
Hello,
Henry. Oh my God.
You can
Off to a
call me
great
James
start.
if you want. That's fine. I'm just interested. How did you get James?
I'm
Honestly,
interested too.
I don't know where that is. It must have just been in the universe. I've got no excuse. I'm really sorry.
I've got
The funny
my
thing
name is above my head.
The funny thing
I
is,
know.
like, it's literally handed to me on a silver platter, you know? So I just don't know.
I could throw you under the bus, but do you know what? I'm going to be a good sister and say I back you.
That's so
You're
kind.
James to us now.
Both of you can call me James if I look
Even
like
though
a
I know
James.
that
don't
you're
mind.
That's
Henry.
great. Thanks, Henry.
Anyway,
It's
how
great.
are you, Henry/James?
I'm really well now. You are Lily and Grace.
It's actually pronounced James, but
James.
It's actually
allow it.
pronounced James the first
James
and
the
James the second. But it's
Great
we'll
to
accept
have
Lily and
you.
Grace, that's fine.
The James twins.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did it feel? Was it good to be playing a show?
It was lovely. That I feel it was a bit spooky because it was, we're in a little studio, but I loved it. It's, we're just happy to be singing together.
it was great. We were actually just asked before, so is this like the first time you guys have like played since everything, hit the fan?
Went
But
down, yeah.
we've had a couple of little shows before this one, so I feel like they were good warm-ups. We're just not going in
Yeah.
completely cold.
We feel match fit. It's okay.
But yeah,
Good.
like Lily said, it was just like we knew that the crew was there, but it did feel like just playing to an empty room, which was kind of, it's interesting, but
You
it
had
was fun.
absolute cascading applause emojis as your set was going through. So you had a lot
Oh
of
my
love,
God.
be it,
That's
just
nice.
with
Digital.
thumbs
Yeah,
hovering
yeah.
over
Yeah.
a smartphone screen.
That's all
Yeah,
we
I
need.
love
They,
it.
It counts.
I hear that you have a thirst for, and you were raised on anthemic ballads of the 90s. I
You
want you
hear
to
correctly.
name names. Tell me what anthemic ballads of the 90s inspired you.
Okay. First one that comes to mind is do you have to let it linger by Cranberries. Okay. That one's just
Cranberry.
like
There wasn't enough
know?
yodeling in that rendition. That sort of voice.
Where's the yodeling
Oh,
though? You
I
toned
should
it
have
down.
given you I toned it down, exactly. I toned down the oh gosh. So we
You're
got
good at it. You're really
But
good
what-
at it.
Please
know
don't,
what?
actually.
we were like too young in the 90s to even really get into it as it was happening. So it's all like washed over from our dad, like the Oasis, the Blur, that sort of vibe.
Britpop.
Yeah, yes, a lot of Britpop.
I can sort of get there is a British overtone to your sound. How would you describe, what are your major influences? We had Sue on YouTube asking about the background to your passion for music.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll take the reins a
Yeah,
little bit.
go on.
I think, well, apart from those bands that I just mentioned, we sort of were raised on a lot of music like Crowded House or like even the Beatles, that's sort of where the harmonies come from. And just those big choruses that you feel like you can sing your heart out to, that sort of vibe.
That I feel like that was definitely Dad's lane, and then Mum covered like the ABBA and the disco tunes. So I feel
so
like
just something you can just sing to, you know?
yes, totally. That just makes your
Yeah.
heart soar. And our family is really musical, which obviously makes it so much
Yeah.
easier to get into.
But then we're teenagers and we're listening to the Killers and Arctic
Yes.
Monkeys and the band music, and that sort of all,
yeah.
merges together for
Yeah.
us, I guess.
Tell us about the path to playing music together and hanging out with your sisters so much. Is it, how did that happen?
We've always sung together. Like someone in the house, there would always be music playing, and someone in the house would always be singing a harmony on top of it, whether it's me, Lily, or Mum, Dad, whatever. So
Or
I
James.
feel like, or James.
How
We've-
close to a family band did you get?
Oh, I
Ooh.
think that was
nah,
their dream.
Nah, far off.
Never.
You know when you're a
Surely
kid and
Never,
you're
Mum,
like,
that.
when you're a kid and you just think your parents are not cool, but now I'm like, I think they're really cool. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
now they're a lot cooler than
Anyway.
we will ever be, but
You've
We-
come full circle, but sorry, I interrupted.
totally.
No,
I
I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to say, so we grew up singing together, and I think it was just like Lily literally called me one day before we even were, like doing music together properly, and was like, if we're ever in a band, we should be called Clews. And it kind of, I feel like it just sprouted from there. It just became an idea, and then we were like, let's just do it. And then we just went out and we did it. And that brings us.
Well,
to
we
the
get
present.
along well, and so it's fun. you
We
know.
do get along well. Yeah.
It's
We're
a bit of
lucky.
a hazard as someone that interviews to ask about a band name. But your band name, as much as I hate to talk about it,
You're
there's
that guy. I
Yeah.
love
I'm
it.
that guy. I'm the guy.
Just
but
do it.
you remind me of this other band called Doors. I don't know if you've come across them. And they're spelt Doors as in DAWES.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I
And-
actually didn't know that.
I found when I first saw them play live, the singer had to constantly stop the gig and say, "Hey, we're called Dawes, spelled DAWES, not the Doors." I'm wondering if you
Not
have
to
to
be mistaken.
ever spell out your name for
You know
people
what?
for when
I
they
usually-
Google search you.
I usually just, if someone asks, I usually just say it's Claws, but with an E.
I usually just say we're called James.
I'm never
I'm
gonna
sorry
live
to
that
keep bringing that up. I'm sorry.
I'm never gonna live it
No,
down. It's just
I
pain
just
in the
like,
heart every time.
I'm just like, you know what, guys, figure it out. It's Clues.
Yeah, just Google it.
It won't come up.
It
but
won't
just-
come up.
You'll
But
find
like,
us.
just
if you, our hearts will connect. You'll find us.
I like that.
That's
if
my
you,
strategy.
If you want to know about us
yeah.
enough,
You want to know?
That's not a good strategy.
You want to know
That's
what
really
called?
not a
Figure
good
it out.
strategy.
We're gonna post up.
I like it. Well, if you want to
That makes
find out
one.
more
That makes
about
one.
Clues, head to deliveredlive.com.au. You'll find links to all of the artist-driven merch sites where you can get everything. Now, you guys have just put out a single, Hollywood, right? Or did that come out? Tell me when that came out.
Actually,
Hollywood was last year.
I'm losing.
Oh, it
we
was a
haven't
while
put
ago.
music out
Old
this
news.
year. I think our latest song was called Feel, but that was from last year, and I don't know where this year's gone, but it's fine by.
I
you
mean,
know.
this year's just a write-off, really.
This has
isn't
got a
it?
really chaotic energy, so we haven't put out any music. But yeah, we've got a few singles floating around.
That's good. And has it been a productive time?
Yeah, it really has.
It really
actually.
has. It
Yeah.
really has.
Yeah, we've been recording.
Yeah.
Starting to do a few little gigs now, writing.
All the behind-the-scenes stuff, obviously, because
We're
touring
lucky.
or whatever is
We're
not on the
just
cards.
we're in a lucky position,
Totally,
compared to
yeah.
a lot of people. So we're no complaints.
attitude
Well,
of gratitude.
we down here in immense lockdown in
Oh,
Victoria,
God.
and those tuning in from Australia and around the world absolutely adored your set. And to aid
Thank you.
in the
everyone.
to help that productivity flow, we have from Young Henry's some transparent beer that can be passed through the fibers
Oh my
there.
God.
yeah.
It's so
And-
well
Henry,
lined
how
up.
did you do that?
And also
Thanks.
your
Henry, you're
very
a
own pair
magician.
of Audio Technica headphones.
Stop it.
There
You're
you go.
spoiling us.
There's two. Oh my! I'd say there's
Two
like
pairs.
Christmas.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my
Two-
God!
Wow.
Thanks, Henry. Grace,
Can you
get
juggle
none.
them?
No, you can have yours.
Okay,
Here you go.
thanks.
That is very exciting. Thank
Oh
you.
my God, how kind.
Thank you
Oh.
so much, Lily and Gracie, James, first and second,
Yes.
for being
All
with
of
us
the above,
here
all
on
of the
Delivered
above.
Live.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
You
Henry.
absolutely slayed it.